What are you doing? Why are you filming?
VinCube 4.
But we have VinCube at home.
Hey everyone, this is Phil. It's been a while, but we're finally back with the VinCube 4. We actually filmed this video months ago, but then discovered that the manufacturer actually recalled the Cube and told us that they would release a new version of it that has some fixes and performance upgrades, and that's what we're reviewing today. It's $24.99, which is a very nice price for a magnetic 4x4. So this cube is designed by a world-class 4x4 solver from back when I cubed. We were very excited when it came out because cubes designed by competitive cube solvers usually are made with really high standards. But unfortunately, when we first unboxed this cube, it had a lot of issues. The pieces felt like weirdly sized, and the cube, while it was functional, it didn't seem that much better than an MGC. It was just overall very underwhelming. And then we learned the news from the manufacturer. And I actually directly asked the manufacturer, can you tell me what is wrong with the cube? And sometimes when you ask businesses, hey, explain why you messed up all these things, they give you some very vague response written by the marketing department or PR department. But the designer of the cube was actually extremely straightforward. He said that some parts are loose, there's an incorrect direction of the magnet inside, there is an adhesive overflow on the friction surface, and there are serious scratches on this surface. I hope he's not too uncomfy about me sharing it, but I'm sharing it because I have a lot of respect for this type of explanation. This brand has basically no products aside from this cube, so we're really proud of them for taking the initiative and fixing their product. Okay, so just full disclosure, we already opened this because we had to test whether or not it was defective or not, but everything else is pretty much stock. We didn't really change anything. This is a very plain box. It looks really nice. The red and black looks good. It's got a nice weight to it. This bag has a really good texture. I wish you can feel this bag through the video. I think you have some competition, buddy. So this is the cube. When we were first making this video, we very quickly observed that this cube shares a lot of similarities with the YJ MGC 4x4. We'd be willing to bet a lot that this comes from the same factory. A lot of the piece geometries are similar. This just looks like it was made in 2024 and not whenever the MGC 4x4 was made. So let's do some turns. So this cube, compared to the older version that we consider defective, turns a lot easier. When you make a turn, there's not that much unwanted friction. There is some friction, but it's a good type of friction that makes you feel like you're turning a tactile puzzle. This layer is not lubed, but it turns really easily. So I think overall, this cube really moves well out of the box with no setup whatsoever. To expand a little bit more about how this feels compared to the MGC, I think one of the bigger differences is that the turn is more uniform and less grindy. There is still a texture inside, but it's not unpleasant. So when you turn this, I can feel the turn, but the turn is nice and pleasant and actually very attractive to me. MGCs are kind of random. Sometimes they have more friction on the inside than others. The manufacturing is like not 100% consistent. So I feel a lot more scratchy on the inside. It's a lot more papery and a lot more tactile, but not in a good way. The sound is just so nice. So both pretty good 4x4s, especially for the price, but this one is just more polished, and it's more predictable, and hopefully it's more consistent, so should be good. All right, let's open up and see the pieces. It's really similar. So the VinCube is a lot smoother here. It's trying less to have steps on the pieces. It's a lot simpler in design. You can see the MGC has a lot of stuff going on over here. This one is just flat. So the centerpiece of the VinCube is primary color, and it's really similar, except there's a cutout over here. So the cutout over here, I wonder what it does. Oh yeah, it leaves some space over here. That's pretty cool. And then the corner has some different geometries, but overall it's pretty similar. Yeah, so I'm not an engineer, but as an experienced cuber, I can tell that there are some very simple changes on this cube that make it simpler and better. I like how this cube moves, and for $24.99, not a bad deal. So it's pretty simple here. If you are thinking about the MGC or the VinCube, I think you should just get the VinCube. It's newer, the production will hopefully be more consistent. The price jump is nothing serious at all, especially considering the jump in performance. It's much more usable out of the box. You don't get that dry, sandy, too much friction type of feel. If you're choosing between this and the Aosu, I think you might have to think about it a little bit more. The Aosu WRM is still smaller than the VinCube, so if you want a smaller cube, I think that is still going to be a very viable choice. Personally, for me, I don't really demand an Aosu over an MGC or a VinCube. There's nothing about the Aosu that makes me really want to use it. But that's just me, some other people are different. So if you're indifferent between that kind of more stable, blocky Aosu feel and the VinCube, I'd get the VinCube because it's cheaper. But if you know that you like a compact cube and you've used Aosus in the past to good success, then maybe this cube is just worth trying and not immediately switching to. Yeah, we're very impressed by the VinCube. The company took very responsible measures to fix their product. And of course, nobody likes a product that gets recalled, but I think they took really good care of it. The cube at $24.99 is a very fair price for something that performs really well out of the box. I personally don't think I need to lube it that much. I might put some FZ in it to make it smoother, but this is totally usable out of the box. And I think anyone from beginner to competitive solvers are going to be able to use this cube. And I want to see some people get good times because Jesse and I are a little limited in 4x4. But we're experienced cubers and we know a good cube when we see one. And I think this cube is pretty good. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Find this at TheCubicle.com.